The movie opens with Maria Brennan, a 17-year-old girl, getting ready for school. She resides in a luxurious home with her parents, Dan and Amy, but her life seems challenging. Maria is socially outcast and frequently bullied by a guy named Mark due to her shy nature. In contrast, her only friend, Lily, is a confident figure skater with a boyfriend named Sean, which occasionally makes Maria envious. Maria's parents, concerned about her aloofness, have tried persuading her to attend the upcoming school prom multiple times, but without success. Surprisingly, Maria's father, unlike the stereotypical overprotective dad, is more worried about her appearance and social status. He believes she is messed up because of her disinterest in boys and socializing. Maria is aware of her parents' concerns, and one day, she sneaks into their room and attempts to apply her mother's makeup. However, she abruptly stops when she notices something sticking out from the edge of the mirror. To her astonishment, it's a strange sonogram image of twins. In the middle of the night, Maria is in the bathroom when her reflection in the mirror stares back at her, causing her to lose balance and fall. After quickly getting up, she clears the steam from the mirror, revealing her reflection, which continues to move. This terrifies Maria, leading her to run away in horror. The next day, Maria tries to confide in her parents about the incident, but as expected, they dismiss her concerns. Later at school, Mark bullies her again, causing her to fall to the ground, which amuses everyone except for Sean. Sean unexpectedly appears and helps her up, even confronting Mark and warning him to stay away from her. This act of kindness excites Maria since no one has ever stood up for her before. After school, Maria takes a relaxing bath, reminiscing about her encounter with Sean. However, her peace is disrupted by the sound of a baby's cries, triggering memories of her own birth and disturbing her. Consequently, she struggles to fall asleep. Suddenly, a voice calls out her name, and she investigates, only to find her own reflection in the mirror. Initially scared, Maria gathers the courage to engage in a conversation with her reflection, who introduces herself as Aram. Aram claims to be Maria's complete opposite, confident, charismatic, and dominant. The two converse, discussing their preferences and dislikes, and gradually become friends. Aram offers to help Maria overcome her problems and gain confidence. The following day, Maria surprises her parents by expressing her desire to attend the prom. Moreover, she shows interest in learning figure skating for the winter prom. Later, she visits her father's clinic and suspects him of having an affair as she witnesses him getting close to a female client. On the way back home, Dan asks Maria to visit the clinic the next day for an early birthday present. When Maria shares this information with her reflection that night, Aram tells her that her father is a selfish person who only cares about himself. Initially skeptical, Maria defends her dad, mentioning that he plans to gift her a car. However, the next day, Maria is surprised when Dan presents her with a cosmetic procedure instead, expressing his desire to correct her unusually large ears and nose. This emotionally devastates the teenager, making her finally realize that her father despises her imperfections. In the next scene, Aram consoles Maria and suggests they teach their father a lesson. Aram also points out that Amy is weak for tolerating Dan's toxic behavior. As their conversation continues, Maria starts feeling better, and the two girls share a laugh. Amy notices their interaction and questions Maria about it. When Maria fails to provide a satisfactory answer, Amy begins to suspect that Maria is using drugs. Later, Amy expresses her concerns to Dan, but he dismisses the matter entirely. Instead, he gives her sleeping pills, applies a beauty cream to her face, and puts her to bed. Before falling asleep, Amy mentions her recurring nightmares, but Dan assures her that they will eventually disappear as they always do. The following day, Maria and Lily go to practice ice skating. Since Maria has never skated before, she easily slips and falls to the ground. However, instead of helping her, Lily rudely tells her to stay away from Sean. Devastated by the rejection from her only friend, Maria returns home and confides in Aram. Aram comforts her and explains how Lily is a negative influence who only cares about her popularity. Aram emphasizes that she is Maria's true friend and the only one who can ease her pain. To achieve this, Aram suggests that Maria switch places with her, relinquishing control of her life. The confused teenager almost gives in and prepares to touch her reflection, but just then, Amy arrives and informs her that she is running late for prom. Startled, Maria quickly puts on her prom dress and rushes to school. Unfortunately, this turns out to be a poor decision as Maria becomes overwhelmed by the crowded venue, bright lights, and loud music. Fearing she might fall, Maria finds it challenging to let go. She contemplates leaving but is approached by Sean at the last moment, who offers his hand for support. Maria happily accepts, and they make their way to the center of the rink, dancing in each other's arms. Nearby, Lily watches with envy and intentionally startles Maria, causing her to lose balance and fall. Sean tries to assist her, but Lily interferes, preventing him from doing so. To worsen matters, the bully, Mark, arrives on the scene and starts dragging Maria across the rink. The other students merely observe as she screams and pleads for help, completely disregarding her emotional state. When Mark finally comes to a stop, Maria quickly flees from the location, feeling embarrassed. This proves to be the final event that pushes her over the edge, leading her to ultimately allow Aram to take control of her life. They touch hands and share a kiss, initiating a transformation process. Once the transformation is complete, Maria finds herself behind a mirror while Aram is free to go wherever she pleases. Meanwhile, in a nearby room, Amy experiences a nightmare about the day she gave birth to Maria. In her dream, she is in immense pain and screams. The following day, Aram goes to school and unexpectedly encounters Mark in the hallway. Approaching him confidently, she grabs his crotch and licks his ear before walking away, leaving him speechless. Soon after, Lily approaches Aram, pretending to be concerned. However, Aram sees through Lily's act. Nonetheless, she continues to maintain a friendly demeanor with Lily and asks her to teach her how to skate again at the rink. Later, Aram visits her father's clinic and distracts the receptionist in order to steal the contact information of Dan's mistress. She then orchestrates a plan for the mistress and Amy to coincidentally meet at the clinic. Aram's plan succeeds, and Amy is devastated when she discovers her husband's infidelity as she encounters his mistress in the elevator. The scene shifts to the ice rink, where several students have gathered to practice. Aram meets Mark and entices him into the washroom. Once there, she suddenly strikes him in the knee with a hockey stick, causing it to dislocate. Mark collapses in agony, pleading for help, but Aram heartlessly leaves him to suffer alone. As everyone prepares to go home, Aram stays behind with Lily to continue practicing skating. Surprisingly, she displays a newfound skill and skates like a professional, much to Lily's surprise. A sense of determination takes hold of Aram, and she starts to chase Lily with a sinister look in her eyes. Terrified, Lily tries to escape but ends up tripping and hitting her head on the hard cement. She bleeds profusely while Aram coldly observes her slowly succumbing to her injury. After some time passes, Aram calls the authorities and reports Lily's accident, pretending to be scared and concerned for her friend. In the reflection of the phone, the real Maria can be seen crying. Later, Aram returns home and a detective arrives to question her. However, Amy convinces the detective to come back at another time. In the bathroom, Maria confronts Aram about the murder, but Aram menacingly asserts that Lily deserved. Frightened by this revelation, Maria expresses her desire to switch places again, but Aram refuses, stating that she is not finished yet. The scene transitions to Lily's funeral, where the detective offers condolences to Sean and shares a significant glance with Aram. Uncomfortable with the attention, Aram decides to leave. However, Sean halts and embraces her. Later that evening, Aram sneaks out of her house to see Sean. He brings her to his room and offers her a joint. While discussing their lives, Aram positions herself in front of Sean and gazes into his eyes. She confesses that she has been fantasizing about him and initiates physical contact with him in an intimate area. Initially, Sean resists her advances, but eventually succumbs, and they engage in a sexual encounter. The following day, Aram goes on a dinner date with her father. Dan expresses concern about her well-being following Lily's death, but Aram appears unaffected by the incident. It is also revealed that Dan has been avoiding returning home after his affair was exposed. Aram questions him about his intentions to reconcile with Amy, and he assures her that he will restore normalcy soon. Aram starts behaving strangely, eating loudly, and in an unladylike manner. This behavior troubles Dan, and he scolds her to sit properly. Reluctantly, Aram complies, but her resentment towards Dan continues to grow. In the next few days, Aram continues to skip school, convincing Sean to skip classes with her. One day, they check into a motel to engage in a sexual encounter. However, Sean receives a call from his mother, informing him that the police want to question them. Worried, he plans to leave, but Aram refuses to go. She attempts to entice Sean with kisses, but he becomes suspicious and questions why she is avoiding the police. Realizing that her secret has been exposed, Aram grabs a bottle and strikes him on the head with it. Sadly, he passes away shortly after. Afterward, Aram goes to the bathroom and finds Maria in a distressed state. The two console each other and form a close bond. Meanwhile, back at home, Amy experiences another nightmare. In her dream, it is revealed that Maria had a deformed twin sister, and Dan decided to euthanize the baby, believing it was futile to let her live. It is later revealed that Aram is actually Maria's deceased twin sister. In reality, Aram shows up at Dan's clinic and rings the doorbell. She stands weakly at the door, unable to support herself. Dan carries her to the operating table and gets her a glass of water. However, to his surprise, she begins undressing. Furious, he demands that she put her clothes back on, but Aram continues to remove her garments. She questions her father if he finds her beautiful. Reluctantly, Dan admits that she is beautiful, but Aram asks if he would still love her even if she had deformities. Once again, Dan affirms that he would love her unconditionally, regardless of any imperfections. However, Aram doesn't believe him and swiftly cuts his throat with a sharp object. After he bleeds to death, a furious Aram questions why he couldn't love her in the past. Subsequently, she calls out for Maria but receives no response. She then returns home and lies beside a bewildered Amy. The final scene depicts shimmering reflections and illustrates Amy embracing both her daughters in her arms, suggesting that Aram and Maria have become one person.